So let's talk about bowing for a moment, okay? I'm going to have you practice them. So the way you chose was to hold your flute in the left hand, and then you took a bow like this. Let's look at some other options too. So you can also hold the flute like this. Yeah, and then you can bow like that. So try that one. Yeah, and then you can also hold it like this. And you can bow like this. Try that version. Good, and when you do that one, make the flute slide down your thighs like this. Yes, and so what you want to be careful of is not to lean it out, but to like let it slide like that. Beautiful, okay, I really love the way you play. I'm gonna sit here. I love how open your sound is, and I love how close your fingers are to the keys. And your breathing is amazing. Isn't his breathing incredible?
Yeah.
It's just so natural. So what do you like about the flute? I'm so curious what got you interested in the flute. I want me to go first. I'm going to go first. The reason I picked the flute was because it was shiny. That's the reason. I saw the flute. I went to a concert and I saw the flute, and I saw all the lights darting up and down the flute, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And I was like, I don't know what that sounds like, but I want to play it because it's pretty. So I went first. So how about you? What's your flute story? How did you pick the flute?
Honestly, I just picked a random instrument in third grade when I started.
Yeah? Did your school have a band and say, here are all of our random instruments, you can pick one? Okay, so it wasn't like the flute was in your house? You didn't like have a flute lying around and you picked it that way? No, okay, beautiful, okay. So I'm gonna give you a choice. We're gonna work on some technique and we're gonna work on some creative ideas. So which would you like to do first? The creative stuff or the technique stuff?
Technique.
Technique, okay. I love it. So the first thing I wanna work on is vibrato. Did you naturally learn how to do vibrato, or did you take some exercises to learn it?
I feel like it's natural.
It's natural, okay. So one of the things that's going to be so great for you to have in your toolbox is more vibrato speed, okay? So I'm kind of hearing. Ba, 1, 2, 3, 4, ba, 1, 2, 3, 4, ba, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's play tennis. I'll hit you a vibrato speed, and you try to hit it back. Okay? So we'll just play a G. Yeah. Yes, okay. I figured that you would be able to mimic it. So that's why we played it that way. But let me ask you a question. How do you think you made that vibrato? That's a really hard question. Where did it come from in your body? Did it come from your elbow? Oh, where do you think you feel it the most? Yeah, try.
My mouth.
In your mouth. Okay, so what's happening when we make vibrato is that the air is coming out from our lungs and it's moving through the pharynx, through the throat, and out through the lips, okay? And so all of the muscles of the larynx kind of contract to do the fast part of the vibrato. And if you add bigger pulses, you can do that with your belly. So when you go like this, try that. See if you can feel it in your abdominal wall, these muscles right here. Yeah, see? Say, do you have a dog at home by any chance? No dogs. Do you like dogs? Yeah. So I want you to imagine you're a little dog and you're going, do that for a second, just go. Yes! Okay, so that muscle is what helps us feel the part of the abdominal wall that we move. So do it again. Put your hand on your belly and go. So now if you combine like a huh, and let the rest of it happen up here. Yes. Now try this, Alan. Try ya, na 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 pant on the big parts of it and let the rest just be fluid. Good. All right, and so some people talk about belly vibrato, but you can't actually make vibrato happen using your abdominal walls. You can support it and ground it and have it be a part of your vibrato, but you can't go because it would be too slow. So now, let me ask you how you think you're going to use that skill. Like, let's say in this first thing, what would you like to do with your vibrato? Do you want to keep it the same? Do you want to change it? Do you want to start it slow, go fast when you're up here? What do you think?
I think it should, the higher you go, it should be a bit faster.
Yes, absolutely. So let's start on this B flat right here and just play the note by itself. And try, sing it out. See that pink flute case back there? Go ahead and send your fast vibrato to the pink flute case. Good. And so if that's 10, if that's your fastest vibrato, what would like an F5 vibrato be in terms of speed? Yes, and then what would like a 3 be? Awesome. So give me this note, and that one. And let's see if we can hear the sort of 2 vibrato, the 5 vibrato, and the 10 vibrato. Yeah! Okay, so now string it together. Speak with you about, and then we're going to jump into musicality now that you've got this amazing tool, is breathing through your nose. Okay? So what I would like for you to be thinking about and talk about with your teacher to see what they think about this is that when you have a lot of rests, like if you're about to play the piece or you've got like 4 bars of rest, the value of breathing through your nose, everybody try it, let's all breathe through our nose. And exhale, and try it again. And I want you to think about, like, what is the temperature of the breath, and how does my mouth feel while I'm breathing through my nose? So let's keep exploring together. And then the next question is, what does it make my body feel like? Does it make me feel more calm? Let's try it again. So what are some things you notice, Ellen, about breathing through your nose?
When you exhale, it's more calm.
Yeah, so it triggers our parasympathetic nervous system. So actually, were you nervous at all today when you played? Yeah, so one of the best ways to keep yourself, like calm yourself when you're nervous is to actually breathe through your nose. Okay, what else did we notice breathing through our nose? Did we notice any kind of sense of texture or temperature or how it kept our mouth wet? What else? Did anyone want to share anything? What else did you notice? You try it again. Does it feel like more open in here? Yeah. Okay, one of the biggest things and one of the biggest benefits of breathing through your nose is it does not dry your mouth out. So now try this, go. And then try slowly. Do you feel how it makes your mouth a little dry? Mm-hmm. So that's one of the big benefits. So in the beginning, what I would recommend you do, and I want you to watch me, is that you would start it like this. So see how I'm breathing through my nose. And I just want you to try only that, breathing through your nose. That's beautiful. Okay, so try it now in the context of where you have a spot to do it, but you're playing something first. So how about right here? Dia, dia, dee. Yeah. Do you guys hear a difference? Do you feel a difference? like to me, it makes me feel more calm. I'm like, oh, he's breathing through his nose. He's comfortable. What did it make you feel like? Did you feel a difference? Do you have any descriptions for it?
It's a bit more calm.
Yeah, it's more calm. Okay, so now let's go look at some artistic things. So you were so good at fixing that, making that vibrato quicker and changing it. So I want to ask you a question. If you have the choice to make this line a question or an answer, which do you feel like it is more of? Is it like, and you can play it, go ahead and play it once through and see if you feel like, is it more of a question or an answer? And then play this and ask the same question. Yeah, so which one of these two feels like more of like, here's what's happening and here's a question?
I think this is like the answer to this.
Okay, awesome. I think so too. Does everyone think that the second part of that feels more like an answer to something or a question? Do you feel like it could be a question about this? Is that possible? Kind of like, and now I'm going to tell you a story. You are, oh my goodness, what's it about? Does that resonate? Does that feel like it could work? So I want you to actually try thinking about that. So the first statement, I want you to be like, I'm telling you a story, and the second one, kind of questions, okay? Questions about it. More? Now, shh, quiet. Ask a question. Beautiful. So if you're curious, first of all, tell me, what hobbies do you have? Do you like to read? Do you like to play video games? What do you like to do?
Reading.
Reading? Okay, what kind of books do you like to read?
Like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's awesome. So if these were two characters, what do you think who in that book do you think would be the first character? Or what would be happening? Like, is this one of those like where they're up on a broom, flying, or getting ready to play that? Is it the Snitch? What's the game that they play?
Quidditch.
What is it called?
Quidditch.
Quidditch, that's the game. So what do you think could be happening here, or what do you think the character could be from the book? Want some help? It's a hard question. Well, it could be like somebody coming into a room with a big cape, and the cape, and maybe the student's going, oh my goodness, I wonder what spell we're going to learn today. Okay, so there's like this character. So that's what I want you to try next. See if you can. Story, changing the color, changing the character of who's speaking, the dynamic, the vibrato. Okay, so that'll be the last thing we do. I'll have you play that with some new ideas, breathing through your nose, thinking about vibrato. Change. Beautiful. Deep breath through your mouth. Questions or feedback or things that you noticed that Alan did that you liked?
So in a typical piece that you would play, what percentage would you say you breathe through your nose and through your mouth?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to do what singers do, right? So singers are always like, yeah, right? Because they're really using that mechanism. So I don't know the answer in terms of percentage, but certainly making it be an important part of how you actually align your body when you play the flute, and connect to yourself and ground, and also keep yourself hydrated. It filters the breath, it keeps the breath warm, it hydrates the breath. It does so much. It keeps your mouth. So if you're in a section where you have you have like double tonguing coming up and you have like a whole 2 measures to breathe, then yeah, why not? Right? So that you can go right in and keep yourself moist for that. Yeah, and there's another thing we can try, Alan, and that is to do a combination nose-mouth, which singers also do. So be like this. Everybody try that. So it's, and again, here we go. So it's just a combination, and then you have to ask yourself, well, what percentage of the breath is through the nose and what's through the mouth? So if it's going to be, it might not be so balanced. Maybe it's like half, like, or maybe it's mostly through the nose and just a little bit of a mouth breath to like give the character, like that. And I mark my scores, and I have my students mark the scores. I use a big bracket for where I want there to be a nose breath, and then a little check if it ends with a mouth. But just thinking about that and not just always breathing through our mouth. Singers would never do that. And they would never do the other thing we do, which is, never, right? And they're getting their whole system ready. Keeping everything where it needs to be. So, Alan, that was so beautiful. I loved working with you. You're so talented. And you could tell that you're so connected to the flute and the flute's spirit. So just keep playing, loving music, and doing what you're doing. Good job. Do you want to practice your bow? He's going to practice his bow. Yeah, that's great. So the question was, how should the diaphragm be working, or did you say how it should be feeling?
Yeah.
How it should be feeling as you're breathing through the nose and through your mouth. So really no difference, right? So here's a fun exercise. So everybody go like this with your hands. And so this is your diaphragm. When you breathe in, it drops. When you breathe out, it rises. And it's attached to your rib cage. So the diaphragm is actually up in here. It's not down here. Some people think this is the diaphragm. This is just the abdominal wall muscles. Okay, but when it descends, so here we go, let's breathe in again. When it descends, as we inhale, it pushes out our viscera. So all the organs that are here the diaphragm descends and this all goes out. Now some people have big organs down there. When they go to inhale, it looks like they're just, right? I don't. I'm very petite, so when I inhale, I only go out just a little bit. If you've ever wondered, why do they go out more than me? Am I not belly breathing correctly? It's not the way it works. You always breathe through your lungs. There's no way to breathe in your belly, right? So as the diaphragm descends, it pushes out the viscera, and you'll see that movement. And then our job is to delay the ascent of the diaphragm. That means as we make a sound, when we're inhaled, we're trying to delay it. So it doesn't go like this and go really quickly, but we're just trying to delay it, and that is really what breath control is. And then we're shaping and filtering the air and shaping the breath energy that we provide from here through the filters of our pharynx, our throat area, the part that you can see if you open your mouth and you look in the mirror, that part of the throat, the nasopharynx, the throat, the part right above where the nose, where the uvula is, and you can enter through the nose. If you're, that whole area can be shaped differently. Take your hand and pretend you're holding a flower and smell the flower. Do you feel something lifting? It's a different way of breathing. Try it again. Then just breathing through your nose gently without thinking about the flower. Okay, but all of it is connected to the feeling of the diaphragm. So whether you're breathing through your mouth and breathing quickly, or breathing through your nose and breathing quickly, which is not the best combination. Either way, the diaphragm has its motion, and the real question is how do we delay its ascent? Okay? Okay, so shall we go to our second person? Your sound is so consistent through the registers, you know, like in registration. Like it's not like bright and saturated and then kind of diffuse and airy and then back to being, you're really doing a great job with keeping like the core and the sound and the saturation of the sound consistent. Is that something you've worked on? Like mindfully, or is it more of a natural thing for you?
I think it's more of a natural thing.
It's beautiful. Good. So it's like part of your tonal image. You hear it, and that's just how your sound comes out. Good. What kinds of things have you been working on?
A lot on breathing, actually.
Yeah.
And just being mindful of where how I breathe and where my shoulders are, how it makes me feel in my stomach and my chest and my diaphragm.
Okay, good. And so did you used to lift a lot before with your shoulders, or?
Yeah, I used to. I'm really tight when I breathe, so
Okay.
it kind of like gets blocked up in here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. So you've done a lot of great work with that, because I didn't see that. I heard breathing sounds, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it looks like you've done really excellent work with what you've just said that you've encountered. And the other thing I loved about your playing that I noticed is when she was doing all the runs, it sounded, you could hear that you were energizing the breath to create a clarity in the run. So we have 12 notes. I could hear like groups of 4s or groups of 6. Okay, and so I could hear that you were not just going, but that you were going, you had like a beautiful like connection to grounding in the middle of the runs, and that was really great. So I guess the first thing I'd like to work on is a sense of pulse. So are you counting this in 4/4?
Yes.
Okay. So I'd like to try something. We're gonna try counting it in 2/4.
Okay.
So that in 4/2. Right. So it's like a half note gets the beat, but there's 4 beats per phrase or per bar, which means we'd have to remove one of the bars. So it'd be like Do you want to try conducting that with me?
Okay.
So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll be nice and slow. Ready? And and 2 and 3 and a 4 and so what are the strongest beats when you have 1, 2, 3, 4? What are the strongest beats of all 4 beats? What's the strongest one? 1. And what's the next strongest one?
3.
3. So that means it's going to go Right? So that's part of what we're going to work with here too. Okay, so you go ahead and try that. I'll conduct. Am I even singing? Oh, boo, okay. Bum, bum, bee, bum. 1, 2, three. A little faster. 1 and a 2 and a 3. 4 and good. Let's try it again. Ready and 1 Here comes 3. Good. What did that feel like?
I liked it.
Yeah. Okay.
There was
you
more
liked
flow
it.
to it.
It was more flow. Okay. Yeah. And now I'm going to have you do another thing. So instead of feeling the beat here, which is the first thing we typically put it here when we're trying to think about rhythm, I want you to do something different with your body. See if you can kind of almost imagine that your flute is like on a table and you're just wiping across the table with the flute instead of kind of going up and down.
Okay.
Do you have this part memorized, just the first 2
Yeah.
bars? Okay. So how about if you make your eyes trail across the room?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Good. That was beautiful. So much better. Now try something different. So that time you kind of ended up over here, and then you had to kind of come back and be here on 3, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you try something different. Like maybe you go, so you started over here.
Mm-hmm.
You could go. So I'm only going to like between 3 and 12,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You think about yourself in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could go 3, 12, 3, and 9, 12.
Okay.
But the point is that you're thinking about the choreography of shaping your movement
Okay.
and aligning it with the sense of 4, 2.
Okay.
Okay. Try breathing through your nose too. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, try something different.
I'm trying to remember.
Try to do a whole try a 3 to 9. It's really hard. It means you have to move slower. Okay,
In
because
one
it
go?
means because it means you'll be like halfway by that point.
Okay.
Just try it. Through the nose, ready, and oh, you got ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go back further. Try so do that with me. Just do that movement. Here we go. And again. Here we go. Doesn't mean you have to perform that way.
Okay.
But it's about developing your vocabulary and understanding that you've got options. And you can always trim back, okay? So this is pretty slow movement if you're going to get here by there.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Good, well done. Now no bouncing at all. Ready, and 1, 2, no bouncing, 3, no bouncing, no bouncing, good, no bouncing. Yes, so now do whatever you feel like doing, just after you've kind of had that experience. Good, Anna. Okay. What was that like for you? It's kind of a lot to process and explore.
Yeah, I didn't realize I did the bouncing.
Okay, so
But now that I think about
of like giving yourself a directive, like I'm going to, like you can imagine there's like a dusting mitt, you know those like mitts that have like the little things dropping off of it. Imagine you have one on the end of your flute, you're like wiping clean a whole bunch of dust on a table, right?
Yeah.
And so when you ask yourself to do things you're not normally accustomed to doing, first of all, it really challenges your mind. Did you feel challenged?
Yeah.
So that's good. That's healthy, right? And secondly, you're like, wow, oh my God, I must move so much because this feels really weird. Yeah. Okay. What else did you notice or like or think or experience?
It's like more like one motion, because the bouncing up and down is sort of like cutting it up in pieces.
Okay. And do you feel like the motion was integrated in some way with the sound? Do you feel like asking yourself to move in a certain way and trying that movement out affected the way you produced your sound?
I think it helped with the direction of the phrase.
Yeah, and it normally does. Because if we go, we sound that way, but if we go, so here it's in 2/2 and not 4/2. So you can change the meter, okay? Just because it's written in 4/4 doesn't mean you have to play it in 4/4, right? So here it's 2/2. So let's hear 2/2. It ebbs and flows and expands. So I think that's going to be powerful for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the takeaways are to look at the score, and maybe I would definitely photocopy this since you have the original. Take out some markers, and maybe blue represents anything that's like 4/2. Maybe pink represents 4/4. Maybe orange represents 2/2.
Okay.
And go ahead and really think about every single section. And then do some exercises. They can just be tone exercises where you're or slower or faster. See what I did there? I moved to the second note really quickly, but my body was still moving slow. I wasn't moving with the note.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to like get your body to kind of do things that sort of in asymmetrical ways to the way the music feels. That'd be really powerful for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I encourage you to breathe through your nose.
Okay.
At the beginning, I don't mean everywhere, but again, so that you're not doing that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the sound that you're making when you breathe. First of all, are you aware that you have a sound that is coming from your breath?
Yes, I heard it.
Okay. Do you know how you're making it?
It's like my throat constricting.
Okay, so let's all try that. Constrict your throat and go. And try to breathe in. Do you think you're doing that?
No.
You're not. Okay, so this is body mapping, right? It's like, I think it's my throat constricting. Then you try it, and you're like, I'm definitely not doing that. So let's keep unpacking it. So how about if you make the sound on purpose? If you can't just make it and generate it, then go ahead and play a little bit. I'm sure we'll hear it. And when you make the sound, I want you to ask yourself, how did I make it? So you have the option of just kind of trying to play and breathing like that, or you can find a spot and let it happen automatically.
Okay.
ask yourself, how
It still feels like it's at the back of my throat.
okay. Can you replicate the sound for me? Okay, try this. Try. Do you think the tongue, try. Do you think the tongue is involved at all? Ah, okay, yeah. Right, there's a lot of I think you're pretty open here. I don't think it's where your glottis is, where your vocal cords are at all. I think it's your tongue position. So now say, ee, ee, and now breathe in through that space. Ee, ee. We can all do it. E, E. Okay, so some of it could be that. The other thing that could be making, and is for sure involved in it, is the velocity and the volume of air that you're pulling through. Okay, so if you want to take in 10 units of air and you're in an E position, it's going to be, and you have like 1 second to do it, it's going to be like this. But if you drop the tongue, try that. Yes! You see how quiet that is? So it's really connected to the positioning of your tongue, which, by the way, is connected to your larynx, right? There's a hyoid bone here. It's a little bone that like hangs out here. It looks like this shape. And your tongue is connected to it. It goes all the way, you know, your tongue goes all the way back to here. So I think your feeling that it's in your throat is because it's in your tongue. Yeah. Okay. So let's try an exercise. Go. I'm taking little sip breaths, and I'm not making any noise. Then I'm going to go, hold the note out, and then I go, and I begin again.
That was like that.
Yeah, and you're welcome to do it with any notes you'd like. You are, and you're delaying your inspiration. Okay? So there's 4 phases of the breath. Inspiration, suspension, exhalation, recovery. And you're going ba-da-da-da-da, suspend. Inhale. Ba-da-da-da-da. And I want you to ee, ee, yeah. Do that, go yeah. And let the air come in. Yeah. Yes. Again. Yeah. Do you feel the air coming in? Yeah. Now make a sound on purpose so we can make sure you're breathing in. Yeah. Yes. And so now it's there right away. You're going yeah. And you're not going yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you need to sing it a few more times, do that. Go, and when you're ready, go back to the flute and see if you can. Yeah, okay, and we're listening carefully to see, do we hear any sounds? And do we think she's breathing right away or delayed?
No, I'm still stuck.
So use your abdominal, energize your breath like you did when you went, yeah. Do that with your belly, go. And the air will come right in. Yes! Is that almost surprising?
Yeah.
It's like, have you guys ever picked up a gallon of milk that you thought was full? And you went, has anyone done that? I don't drink milk anymore, but growing up, we always had gallons of milk in the house. And sometimes they were white instead of see-through, and I'd be like, wah! So that's the kind of surprise that you get when you're like, and the air suddenly came in and you're like, how did it happen? And how it happened was you prepped your breath and you engaged the abdominal wall in such a way that when you kicked, what was left was a natural recoil. The lungs just went whoop. I can tell you're thinking deeply about this. So I'm going to give you, we have a minute left. I'm going to give you like 20 seconds to just explore.
Okay.
Go ahead and just practice, explore, wonder, and then we'll talk about it. Think quicker. You're going, yeah. And I want you to go, yeah. Just at the very end. Yeah.
Okay.
Engage, lift. Say that. Yeah, say with me. Engage, lift. Say that. We can all do it. Engage, lift. Engage, lift. It's just like a little kick at the very end. Yeah. Try this. Go. Yeah. Let the air come in. Yeah. Feel it?
Yep.
And try not to start with so much air,
Okay.
because that's part of the issue.
Okay.
Just kind of go and then do the exercise. Exhale almost. Repeat. This time don't row. Keep still. Ah, interesting. The first two were very good, and the last two you waited and then inhaled. Okay. Do you guys hear the difference though? And so just imagine if you put a square around every single breath in the concertino, and you put next to the square what volume of air you need to inhale. If it's a 10, like, okay. And what speed of inhalation you're going to do, and what vowel you're going to inhale on. Because sometimes you have to keep the vowel. If you're going yee, 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 it's quicker to do that than to go yee, yee. And I'm not asking you to go, and this whole thing, not so optimal, because that's actually throat tension.
Okay.
Good, very well done. So what are your takeaways from our work together? We had the table thing, we had the pulse thing. What's your little mental list as you walk away tonight?
My mental list is the pulse is a really big one,
Okay.
and then my movement of the flute,
Okay.
and then the breathing.
Yeah.
With like the flick.
Yeah. With the flick. I love that. With the flick. That's awesome. And volume. And then you have some homework to do with like making a score that you mark and you think about, right? And then so you're going to go into the piece with sort of a different way of going. Bravo. Okay. Yes.